everybody on the planet looked like us in the very beginning. We're all brothers and sisters. We just have all been changed based on the geographic of where we all migrated from Africa at some point in life. Every white person on the planet was black at one point.
Hi, welcome to this edition of Talk with TAS Live. This is Dr. Teresa Smith, your host. I am so fortunate to have you with us tonight. This is our first show of 2025. So I hope everyone has had a wonderful holiday season and you are ready to kick off the new year. I know that I am ready to kick off the new year. Hi, Patricia Jean Brun for joining us. And we have our guest for tonight, Mr. Karon Joseph Riley. This is a private thing, guys, that only my sister and Karon know. And if you watch the film that I did, you know, I call him Mr. Riley. And he said to me, that's my father. And I said, okay. But I am so glad to see you, Karon. Happy New Year to you. How are you doing?
Blessed to be here. Peace and love to you. So good to see you again. But yeah, that's funny. I remember that interview where back when where North Carolina we were at. Yeah,
In
that
North
was funny.
Carolina.
I was like, whoa, Mr. Riley, that's my dad. I'm so not him.
And you know, Karan, that was my first ever interview. It was my first ever interview, and you were so kind to me. And you know, I'm a Southern girl, so it was like, you know, I don't really know him, so I gotta say, Mister. But then after you did that, you got me straight, and I don't say that to anybody else now. Now I either
Because
call them if they're a
well,
doctor,
here's the
but
thing. Here's the thing, Doc. We're peers. Like I look at you like a sister. Like we're sister and brother. Like I don't. If I was 70 or something like that, way older than you or something, that's respect. I receive it. But
thank you.
like it's literally like I'm calling you like, hey, Mrs. You know, Doc. What's up, Doc? Hey, how you doing?
Exactly.
Let's keep it light. You know what I'm saying? I love you. You love me. Let's keep it light. There is no hierarchy. We're right here. We're here.
Well, you know, guys, this is why I love Quran. And, you know, this is why I've been following him. And, you know, I'm going to go back and do this the right way. But I just want you to know, this is why I love this guy. He is so real. When he met me, he was so accommodating. It was just like he said, I met my brother. And that's only happened to me twice. It's a guy that we met in Hawaii and you, because you just feel like someone that I've known my whole life. And I've been watching you. And I was like, he's up to something with that keep peddling. So I'm going to go back and introduce everything the right way for the show. So thank you, everybody that's joining. I'm going to get back and like everybody and wave to everybody. We've got, let me back it up. Let me do it the way I know it. My Anjay, which is my sister, Miss Scorpio 85, so hello, Mr. Riley. We've got Destiny 8270 who's joined us. Thank you so much. We got Kirby Brown, Mommy. Lady 11967 and two other folks have joined us. Got Jasmine 4030, Akron 1208, and four others have joined us. Planner with Kayla, y'all forgive me if I mispronounce it. She's joined us. Melanie Barber, nine other people. Dondrea Johnson 343, Miss Tammy 40. I wave
Kelly
to
from
Patricia
Kelly
Jacob.
from Canada.
Okay.
I played football in Canada for a while in Toronto. What part of Canada you from, Kelly? I love Canada. You know I'm from Detroit too, so y'all like we neighbors. Windsor was the first place I had a legal drink without being in trouble, being underage, all at the same time.
Oh, now he telling on himself, guys. Waving to MCT, you know, mispronounced it, 1217. Charles Seta, story, hi to you. Brownie 67, Well joined us. Hey, Karan, Tamika here, Happy New Year. She is MC Jixie Girl, I'm mispronouncing.
Rosemary
And then
from
Sweet
St.
Peace.
Thomas.
Okay,
Hey, Rosemary.
okay, okay.
Like I
Then we
know
got
her.
good. All these people know you, Karan. We got Evelyn, personal assistant, joined. Okay. And Blackberry 3111 have joined us. Guys, thank you so much for joining. We are so appreciative of you. So I'm going to do this the right way now. Welcome to Talk with Taz. I'm Dr. Teresa A. Smith, your host. Tonight, I am thrilled to have with me Karon Joseph Riley. He's a man of many talents and incredible resilience. He's a former NFL star turned actor, producer, philanthropist, and author. He is known for his inspiring journey from the gridiron to the silver screen. He's the author of Keep Pedaling, a powerful guide to overcoming life's challenges through self-empowerment and persistence. We could go on and on and on, but we're going to jump right in with getting to know Karan a little bit better and what the inspiration was for his book, Keep Pedaling. Karan, when I saw the hashtag, I'm going to say now, because it just went in 2025, maybe about 3 years ago, I started to see Keep Pedaling. I thought, okay. Then I saw that you were a cyclist, but I said, okay, Karan is up to something with Keep Pedaling. And then last year, you released your book, Keep Pedaling, the things I learned on my bike and the wisdom to keep you pedaling in life. What inspired you to write Keep Pedaling?
Um, Wisdom, knowledge, the respect I have for those two words. Um, and I personally believe culturally, as you know, I'm about the culture.
Mhm.
Um, and I personally believe that's our biggest problem in our culture. It's just the lack of knowledge and the thirst for knowledge. We have to start getting back to figuring out who we are and who we are deeply before slavery and before the things that the world continues to tell us. I can't speak to every young black boy or young black girl that I would love to be able to pour the wisdom that has been poured into me and be able to pour it into them, because we all have to get to a point in our lives where we are willing to plant seeds for trees that we want to get to enjoy the shade from. Right. So the book in itself for me is a seed that I'm planting
Mm.
to any young black boy, any young black girl, and anybody in between. But I'm
Yeah.
starting first and foremost with my culture.
Mhm.
Like I'm living for my people, unapologetically. I'm not about to get
Mhm.
into the whole thing of how they try to get us to disarm us from loving each other, loving on each other, and protecting our culture. When we protect our culture and we stand up for our culture, they want to make it, like we're being aggressive or we're being racist and all anything. First of all, let me just say this for the people who out there in the short in the big seats way up high, I can't hear too good. Black people have no ability to be racist.
Mhm. No.
We have zero power over any resource, and we have zero power to stop anybody from upcoming in their life. That is the very definition of a racist. So black folks can never be racist. Now we can be prejudiced, and that's fine. I'm prejudiced to my people in a way that I want my people to win first. And that's just that. That's it. I don't have a problem with any other culture wanting them to win first. I always say this. I'm not opposed to white supremacy.
Mhm.
I'm opposed to why we can't get no black supremacy, right? It's not because
Absolutely.
they're going to do what they're going to do. We got to do what we got to do. Asians have their culture. Every other culture on the planet has been protected but ours. Why is that? Because
Well, not cool.
well, the answer that's rhetorical. I'm not. I didn't. The reason why is because we are the most powerful on the planet, as far as creativity, as far as everything that we bring to the table. Let's be clear and precise when I say this. People that look like you and me, Doc, gave the world everything that we see today.
Mhm.
All the positive stuff. Now, all the negative stuff, like money, capitalism, well, not no, slavery's been around since the beginning of time. I'm
Mhm.
not. I'm well read. I'm well read,
Mhm.
so I'm not going to be one of these people who believe to say Europeans started slavery. They didn't. We
Mhm.
were we were enslaving each other in Kemet times and African in our ancient times as well. But here's the caveat that I always say: we didn't make it a bad thing. It was part of life. If we lost a battle with another tribe or argument with another tribe, that is how we paid the debt of loss. Okay, I won. I get 10 of your strongest men, I get 10 of your strongest women, and we cool. And those 10, 20, those 20 people that come to our village are expected to build into our village, help our village get stronger. The penalty for losing at that time was just you lost some of your greatest people. But they could still worship who they wanted to worship. They could marry who they wanted to marry. They could freely do what they wanted to do. And there's been stories where in African culture that in the past that a slave became a king, right?
Yep.
That is what the European oppression did to our culture. And they understood if you strip our history away, you strip our roots away.
Mhm.
So keep peddling in a bottle for me was my attempt to teach my people how to develop their own supremacy, their own techniques, their own ways to find the greatest version of themselves and bring that to the culture, bring that to your life, and let's see what it does. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing in my book that nobody can't replicate and do just by just saying, look, okay, I get it. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And that's really what I want to do. I'm not here to walk you through it. I'm just here to leave some guidance and some teaching on how to catch a few fish and then get to the
Mhm.
next, right?
Yep.
Um, so that's what the book is. It's a love letter. It's my manifesto as a human, as a spirit, as a black man, as an African man, a Pan-Africanist that believes in the culture above, that believe, and it's my love letter to the culture, to every black boy, but every black girl that I won't get to personally meet or talk to. Um, that's that's my opportunity to speak to them in some way and encourage them.
Well, now, Karan, I want to go back because I'm with you here. Because, I've read the book. And I like the fact, though, that you wanted the audience to understand supremacy.
Hmm.
Because, supremacy, because it's I shouldn't say always, guys. Typically, in America, when we hear the word supremacy, even
Hmm.
if the word white is not there, we hear that word. And so, therefore, it gets a bad connotation.
Hmm.
But if we can remove white, is what you've suggested, and
Hmm.
look at supremacy as being supreme in what we do within our race, what you do within yourself,
Hmm.
it's not a negative connotation. And that makes perfect sense for what you're trying to do with Keep Peddling. You're trying to make sure that we are all the best person that we can be for
Hmm.
ourselves first, our
Hmm.
families, then our communities, and then our race. And so I love that you have taken a concept that is hard to grasp, but it really shouldn't be hard to grasp, but it's hard to grasp and broken it down into simpler terms. That's really not that simple, though, because I read the book. It's simple, but it's not.
Right.
Because you talk about self knowledge, you're big on self knowledge, and anybody listening here knows you're big on self knowledge. So you're talking about reflect. First, you got to go get that knowledge. Then you right. It's not. You don't put understand. It's another word for it. But we got to
Understand,
understand.
understand,
Yeah.
overstand.
Yeah.
Once you understand it, then you overstand it. Then you, because think about it, understanding is a very basic
Mm-hmm.
level of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically saying I understand one plus one can equal two. But
Yep.
there's so many different layers to that
Mm-hmm.
if you want to go deeper.
Mm-hmm.
My whole approach to everything is go deeper, get out of the surface where they put us in through our social media, through our education. They are keeping us away from the deep stuff. The whole religion game is set up to keep you out of your inner self.
Mm-hmm.
Every religion talks about going outside of yourself looking for answers. But
Yep.
it's right there written. If you read it,
Yep.
if you find heaven, it's gonna be finding within yourself.
Yep.
It's written. But
Yep.
they preach something totally different, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
why I never
Yep.
could get down with the religion stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you follow religion, you are being led to the slaughter
Mm-hmm.
in one shape, fashion, or form by either willingly, or you're basically depowering yourself to never realize your true potential. And that's what they want from all of us. How do you? And I hate to
Mm-hmm.
digress, and here I am. Um, you remember when Kanye spoke out, and I'm not, and let's just say this out loud. I'm not in no shape, fashion, or form backing up Kanye in any shape,
Mm-hmm.
because Kanye, when he said he doesn't read, he lost me first and
Yeah.
foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I do know he's spiritually
Yes.
inclined. He just would not go and find the resources to help him understand himself. See, Kanye has no self knowledge. When his mother
Mm-hmm.
left, She left his anchor to that self knowledge, and I believe that Kanye's mother, Donda, God rest her soul, she was a beautiful black woman who raised a genius, a black man who was amazing. He
Mhm.
just can't find. To me personally, I wish I could talk to the brother and give him a couple books and say, look, take 6 months, read these, and then let's meet up again and let's figure some things out. And then you have some understanding. We can really start plotting and planning
Balance.
and doing some
Mhm.
things with a little bit better strategy and a little
Mhm.
bit better like acumen of what you're saying, because you're saying some true stuff, but you don't have anything to back it up. So when he
Mhm.
when he said for black people sitting in slavery was a choice, he didn't mean that literally in a
Mhm.
way that people kind of try to throw it away. It was more of a sense of saying you got 30 at one point it'd be 30, 40, 50 slaves on the plantation,
Mhm.
and it'd be 4 or 5, maybe at the most, if you're a real rich plantation, 10 people watching them.
Yep.
How do you convince those people that they can overcome and take over?
Mhm.
And here's the thing, this is the thing about how they teach in school too as well. They have thousands of revolts every year,
Mhm.
seasonally enslaved. They don't talk about all the revolts that they had. They don't want to. They don't want that because they don't want to. They don't want us to see our fighting spirits.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So they don't even
Mhm.
talk about those things. So it wasn't like we were just sitting on the plantation saying, "Oh, we gave up. They didn't brought us here on these. We stuck here." No, we was fighting the whole time. It
Mhm.
was just they were so relentless in the psychological warfare that eventually we broke, as any human would. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? We had bug breaking. We had so many different things that attacked our psychological. And then we were being force fed a religion
Mhm.
that was never ours. A
Yep.
spirituality. It wasn't even spirituality. It was just a
Mhm.
religion to say, look, if you take your lumps now, if you take your lumps now, you get yours later.
Yep.
And so many black people still living by that motto right now today in
Yes,
2024,
they do.
25 now, sorry.
Mhm. They do.
I'm gonna get it later. No, no, no. We were given this. And somehow we've lost control and we got to figure out our way. But at the end of the day, it's enough for everybody. When we was in control of this planet, it thrived.
Mhm.
Period. All we did was make dope shit like
Yep.
pyramids and
Yep.
sphinx, and
Yes.
we was just doing dope shit because that's what we
Mhm.
had to do. It wasn't
Yep.
no, it wasn't no, it was we had to, we had to fight some fighting and stuff because that's just human
Mhm.
nature. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? We fought, did things like that, but it wasn't nothing to the point of the greed that we have now.
Mhm.
The greed, the money, the things that's tearing our whole world apart. This is outside of the culture. And this is what I'm gonna say this, and then you can ask your next question. I'm gonna just drop this last one that I believe is that us as a culture is really the temperature of the world. So until we get ourselves right, the world can't be right.
Mhm.
And I believe that is the key. If black folks can get themselves right and get themselves back collectively, thinking like a national entity that we are, a culture that we are, and we're working unity and put together. I think if we do that, the world will self-correct itself. And I believe self-knowledge is the only way that happens. I believe if everybody took the time to really understand who we are, everybody, not just us,
Mhm.
everybody,
Mhm.
because just like we've been lied to, they've been lied to. There's only a few. Here's the problem. There's only a few, probably I would say at this point, 100 people in the world who got all the answers. They got all the right books. They got all the right things, right?
Mhm. Yep.
And it's only about 100 people. That's the problem. Give
Mhm.
it to the people and let the people decide what's right.
Mhm.
If every person growing up that was not black, that was taught to be racist or mean or not fair against blacks, really understood the contribution that blacks gave to this planet, they could not but just give us nothing but love and respect. And
Absolutely.
and we are not the kind of people who move like that. So it's not like we're gonna get the love and then we're gonna turn around and become them.
No,
No, we're not.
we're not
We're
like
gonna
it.
get back to doing dope
Yep.
as we've been doing. We've been
Mhm.
doing dope shit, but it's just we don't own none of it now. Like they take all
Mhm.
our dope shit till every time we do dope shit, they just take it.
Yep.
And if we find somebody who does dope shit and understands their power, they kill him. I.e., Prince, Michael Jackson, Martin Luther King, all the greats that understand and figure it out and want to get that knowledge out there. That's how you get got. So who knows? If I come up missing, y'all just
Mm.
understand. I did it for the people.
Okay. Well, we hope you're not gonna come up missing, Karan.
If I come up missing, I didn't basically just did some train. I didn't did some kind of I didn't moved on to another atmosphere. I'm on some other shit at that point. Don't worry
Okay.
about that. Don't y'all worry.
Okay. Okay. Um, Holly Wood once said that's so true. Um, I'm just reading a few of the comments here, and what I want, Kelly.
Yeah,
Uh,
Kelly had a good story. She was she has a she's in a biracial marriage, and she I read her thing earlier. Um, but again, like I said, we all started everybody on the planet looked like us in the very beginning.
exactly.
So
And
so we're all brothers and sisters. We just have all been changed based on the geographic of where we all migrated from Africa at some point in life. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Every white person on the planet was black at one point
yeah, because
until they
here's what I
lost their
see.
melanin. It was just basically when we all migrated. We all started going out exploring.
Mhm,
That's why it was black people in America. It was black people everywhere, all over the place. You know what I'm saying? If you look at any statue in Asia, old statues in India, anywhere, they're black. Like these are the people that was here first. Then, over thousands of years of evolution and all these different things, you had a group of people that came out of these mountains called the Caucasus Mountains, and they had lost their melanin. Caucasians, Europe, all those things. That's where at some point they were us. But imagine being somewhere where you can't get no sun for 1,000 years,
mhm,
and food is scarce.
yeah,
So what does that do to your evolution?
it's gonna
You lose your melanin.
change it.
You lose your melanin, and you
Lose your body.
and, and you lose your abilities for humility. You got to eat each other
Mhm,
to survive.
mhm.
You start hoarding.
Yep.
Isn't that what the world energy is now? It's it's
Yes.
a, it's a world of hoarding. It's a world of it's never enough because
Mm-mm.
the people who are now running it, their energy is the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
When we had the world, the borders were open. People come in. They popped up on us. We invited them in. Oh, you know what? By the way, this is soap, guys. Try that. These are
Yeah.
books.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is that. Look at these are stars.
Yeah.
Wow, man, what you doing with your hair? What kind of this is man? What happened?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't have all
Mm-hmm.
of this borders and again, could that have been the problem? Maybe so. Right? You had the Asian version of us. They
Mm-hmm.
understood how to protect their culture. So they built the Great Wall of China and didn't let outsiders in.
Mm. Yep.
Very smart. That's why the
Yep.
Asians still have their culture. The only
Yeah.
people that was open and willing to let people in was us.
With
And
us. Mm-hmm.
look at us now.
Yeah.
God damn. Talk about letting somebody come get a cup of cup of sugar and things go
Yeah.
left. It went left, didn't it? Went totally left.
We're
They,
totally left.
we gave them some food. They gave us a Bible. Hey, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? What's going on? What is this? Who is this guy
Mm-hmm.
you talking about? He came through here a while ago, but it wasn't like that.
No.
He
Mm-mm.
was. I mean, we knew him. He understood the Egyptian mysteries. He was enlightened. But let me ask.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not going down that rabbit hole tonight, Doc. We're gonna save some of this stuff. It's too much.
Yep. It's too
Sometimes I
much.
get on my. Sometimes I get it just starts flowing. But Kelly, appreciate you for tapping in. You know what I'm saying, sister? Do what you do. I love the fact that people are open to discussion and open to understanding life. And over here, I have no hate or bad energy towards anybody because I understand that we all the same. Um,
Mm-hmm.
some of us just a little darker than others, and I just happen to look at my darkness as a gift and not a curse.
And Karan, but what you just said, that's reflected even in our race itself. We were
Well, that's the
talking
biggest
about
problem.
the
We
large.
don't, yeah, we don't like to be. We don't. We're mad. We hate ourselves.
Exactly. And, within our race, as African Americans, Blacks, whatever you want to refer to us as, our melanin is so different. Our features are so different. Our lips. And So my point with that is not to go too far into that is we are reflective even within our race today of the diversity of the mankind. And as you stated, we are very welcoming people, and we are welcoming people. And one of the things to draw you back to the book is that when you talk about the principles of keep telling. Now, you've talked about, well, you've implied that you hope that the readers will be able to understand that in order to remain resilient or to develop resilience, you got to have self-knowledge, and that's that understand, instand, and withstand, understand. Help me to now understand.
I want you to understand.
Help me
Because
to understand.
when you understand it, you ain't even gotta think about it no more. You become it. You become it. Understanding is just like you could have a base understanding of speaking Spanish to somebody, but
Mhm.
if you didn't grow up in the culture of Spanish, then you don't understand. So I want you to understand your self knowledge to the point where you radiate energy. Your energy is depicted upon what you see of yourself. What's inside is on the outside. What is below is above. So there is direct correlation to what you project from the internal to the external. So that's why I want everybody to understand we are walking gods. Each and every one of us are walking gods, and we create our own individual universes within this giant universe of multiple universes. So when you see somebody else outside of your universe having a bad day, give them grace. They may be having a whole damn natural disaster in their universe. And
So true.
that ain't your business. And thank God,
Mhm.
and thank the overall universe that you ain't got no disasters in your universe at that moment. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem with everybody in the world. We so outside thinking that we don't see inside, to the point that I see a white person, Chinese person, anybody, they got the same needs I got.
Mhm.
They want to be safe. They want to be able to feed their children. They want to be take care of. They want to have a full life. That's the connection.
Well, now, one of the quotes in the book is, and I think it's by David Banner, that it's my fault.
Even
I
when
think it's,
yep, it's my fault even when it isn't.
and I like that quote, and maybe I may not be making the right connection with what you just said, but to me, that is a direct correlation, because when I am inside and the inner understanding, then I then begin to understand that whatever is happening, it is my fault. Even if I
Hmm.
did not do it, it's still my fault. And I was reading that, and I was thinking about how it is sort of liberating when I look at it that way, because it relieves all the stress. I think you talked about with your wife, with your children. It's my fault. Because it also de-escalates things. And we
Yep.
all have to take responsibility for this world that we are our world that we live in, big world, but then this world that we live in and the people who are around us, we all play a role in it. So yeah, it's my fault.
Right.
But doing that and understanding it, understanding it is a mind shift. But when you do, it's empowering, it's resilience building, because it's never what has happened to me. Now, this might be from the book I read so much. Come on, it's what's happening for
For
me.
me.
You know,
Right.
so it's like, okay, I hear it, I understand it, and it makes sense. But how do I begin to adapt that mentality? Because a person can hear it, they can read it. Now, of course, that's self knowledge now, because I'm big on people that reflection and that positive self talk. Because you see, obviously, I've been thinking about this, because you
Hmm.
have to think, because that's the only way you get knowledge. We can read, here, but if we're not inside trying to understand it, then apply it to our life, then our life could possibly, because I don't want to just make it emphatic, could possibly remain stagnant. And then we asking people outside of us, why am I not improving? Well, what have you done to improve yourself first, so that your situation outside of you, which is still part of you, can then improve. Am I
Right.
am I am I am I trying to pedal a little bit here?
No, no, you pedaling like a mug. And sometimes you out pedal yourself and you ain't going nowhere. But it's okay. I'm gonna get you in the right
Okay,
gear.
okay.
It's all about getting in the right gear. So basically, the accountability piece is if you take that full accountability,
Mm-hmm.
that is where you find the lessons. That is where you find the minutia of the things that the universe is giving you. If you
Mm-hmm.
can put, if you spend all your time deflecting and not owning your purpose, not owning your mistakes, not owning anything, then you don't own anything. You don't own success. You don't own. It's all deflected, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the universe is not built in the way of deflecting. It's built in straight numbers and intentions. And it's not. There is no doubt in the universe. It it responds to intention. It responds to diligence. It responds to consistency. It responds to belief. And I tell people all the time, you can't have faith and be fearful. It
Sure.
doesn't. It's impossible. Like
Mm-hmm.
my mom used to always talk about faith when she was still here, and then she would on the side part of that she would be like, "But I'm worried about like, but you, mom, you can't go from faith and then say you're worried about something like that. That's mom, you
Cause you
gotta,
did.
but so you can't have both, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest thing how people they've gotten us kind of off track with everything is they keep us confused. They keep us not searching for the, the accountability piece for me keeps me asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I think that's really the thing. Keep asking questions. Keep being a critical thinker.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just take what people or anything is said or something comes to you at face value. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So if something happens, if you're in a relationship and something goes wrong, first and foremost, find if it's two people in there, it's two people in there, there's two energies here.
Yep.
So I can't control your energy, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
I can only control mine.
My energy.
So if you and I have a discussion and it goes left, I'm not blaming you for anything. I got to find my accountability first and find out where I might have went wrong and how I maybe rubbed you the wrong way,
Mm-hmm.
and then we come to understand that, hey, okay, and then it's not even about something me or saying I apologize for doing something because I didn't do anything intentionally to you. This was my opinion because there's
Mm-hmm.
really no right or wrong in
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Yep.
Let go of right or wrong. That shit is a fake. That is false. That is like
Mm-hmm.
twinkling things in the air. Like how you see the world and how I see the world is
Too different. Totally
two
different.
different ways, totally
Mm-hmm.
different. And
Yep.
and if we're and here's a sidebar of that, and we're gonna come back around, but because this is such a good avenue. But I think worldview, finding people in your village that have the same worldview is important in your journey.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hang, ducks don't hang out with cats. Cats don't hang out with dogs. Dogs don't hang out with lions. Lions don't hang out with hyenas. Find your crew, find your village that people
Mm-hmm.
have the same worldview because it's strange you may think you think or how you see the world. It's people that see it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously it is because there's not everybody's different, yes, but we all have connection. We're all coming from basically the same source of the universe. So we all started together, and now we're here. So it's like we just got to find those common goals. And I think accountability for me separates myself from like if something goes, I'll take it. I'll take it because if I was involved, I know I added to the bad some kind of way. And let me find my accountability so I can so I can take care of myself. So the next time we get into the situation, I've corrected myself, and hopefully, if you take an accountability, you can correct yourself, so we won't have this problem again. We may have a new one, but we won't have
Mm-hmm.
this one again, and we can continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause life doesn't happen to us; it's happening for us. So everything that comes up was meant to come up, because obviously there's a lesson that needs to be learned. And I just think there's a lot of victim mentality going around in the world as well. I think everybody wants to be a victim. You know,
Yes.
I see people posting on Instagram when they're in the hospital. I see people posting on Instagram their lowest moments. Like what are we trying to send out to the universe? Like I'm not sending out dead energy.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm at my low point, I'm not trying to share that with nobody. I'm somewhere charging up. I'm somewhere in solitude.
Yes.
Working on I'm somewhere barefooted walking around, grounding myself to the planet, getting myself recharged.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
somewhere, in nature,
Yeah.
finding the answer to recharge myself. I'm not putting that out to the world, but that's
Hmm.
what the world does now. I just saw a post the other day. Somebody was in the hospital, and I'm like, wait a minute. Most of your posts you at a party somewhere, and now you're in the hospital. What do you what energy you want two people to know of you? Because now
Exactly.
because now you posted all of I feel like all energy is real. So if you continue to post what your energy is, that energy is gonna come back to you.
Come back to because you're going to attract it.
You're gonna attract it. So why like victim mentality is not for me. I just can't do it. I tell people all the time, dude, don't come to me with no complaints about nothing. You looking at a dude who served tables after playing football in the NFL to get to another part of his dream. So there's nothing I won't do to get what I got to get to. So you shouldn't have no problem getting to what you got to get to, right? It's just,
Correct. You're absolutely right. But I got to get your take on this.
what up?
Well, I already got it, but I want to get your take on this. But let me say this too. I like the fact that you said that you served tables after being in the NFL. I got two things I want to talk about. I don't understand. Well, I know it's a pride thing, I think, in the big world of it. Why people want this, but they're not willing to do what it takes to get this, even if it means doing something that they may feel that they shouldn't have to do. Because I had a college, my first degree, and I did private duty. I have no shame in saying that whatsoever. I learned a lot from the people that because they were older, white, rich people that I did private duty for. So I learned a lot from those people. It gave me an exposure that I would not have had. I have no shame in saying that. I did that even when I had my second degree because I had people that I had been working with. So when they needed somebody, they called me because they could trust me. I have no shame in that because I learned from those individuals because everything was a learning thing for me. So if I had to wait tables, I would wait tables now because there's no shame in my game. But I don't understand, but maybe I do since I use the word understand. I don't understand why people want it, but they won't do the legal things to do to get it, even if they hear a bad patch. So is it because there's a disconnect between that inner standing that just because I'm doing private duty right now does not mean that I'm going to be doing private duty for the rest of my life unless I choose to do that? It's just a stepping stone to get me to where I want to be. Is that what it is?
I think we get ourselves caught up too much in our identities of what we do,
Mm-hmm.
as far as
Yep.
um yes, I'm an actor. Yes, I wrote a book.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm a husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm a father. Yes, I'm a son. Yes, I'm a brother. But there's about a million other things that I'm capable of being too.
Yep.
So I don't hang my hat on none of it at a point of well, so I don't have pride in any of it. I think pride is a thing it's first of all, pride is something that you earn. I believe if you're gonna be prideful because you put in a lot of fucking
Yes.
work. And let that pride make you walk into a room with your shoulders back, your chest up, and you speak clear and you speak honest and confident to people. But don't let that pride block you from an experience that is going to serve you and help you. Like it sounds like you just like me. Like you're going to keep moving in life because you know what your intentions are. You know what your purpose is, and so you moving in that journey without worrying about the result. Like I always tell people, the how is never important.
Mm-mm.
It's the why. What is
Mm-hmm.
your why?
Mm-hmm.
And I
What is
think
your why?
when you got a strong enough why, the how you get to it matters not. You'll serve tables, you'll build airports, you'll do whatever it takes to get to that why. and
Yes.
and that's where you see a lot of people. And sometimes, like you mentioned, I heard you give a little bit, you said the legal way, but sometimes you got to go the illegal way.
That's true too.
That's what happens in our that happens in our community,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody, I'm not gonna sit up here on some lofty soapboxes if I didn't have a lot of support growing up and have a lot of people that kept me away from that avenue of life. So I don't look down on anybody who takes that avenue. I wish that they would have had somebody that in their ear that would give them a different way, because even those men, I don't know if anybody's been keeping up with just pop culture in our community, but Big Meech is out of prison now. He was one of the biggest drug dealers in the history of drug dealers in the country, like in the world at one point. Him and his brother.
Mhm.
Now, for you to run an operation that big, you're pretty brilliant. You're pretty fucking brilliant.
Yes,
Let's be clear. You could have
yes.
ran any company on the planet,
Mm-hmm.
and it would
Yep,
have thrived.
yep.
But they went with the avenues they had at their disposal at the time they had it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm never knocking. I'm never knocking the avenues. I just wish that we all would get to a point where our self value and ourselves will keep us away from some of the decisions that we make. And I think that's where it comes down to again. Comes back self knowledge, self value. Like
Yep.
I love myself too much to even mess around like that because I'm not built for no jail. You as y'all can see, I ain't built for jail. Like you know,
No,
I
no, you're
like
not
to
good for jail.
I
No,
like to exfoliate the shit. I ain't we ain't doing jail doc.
no, we're doing no jail. Now, let me ask this, Karan, because time is going so fast and we're going to have to wrap up. But I want to ask this question. You talked about accountability, and I thought about individuals who their their mere presence changes the dynamics in a room. You know,
Mhm,
because they walk in bitterness. But I'm gonna be clear with you. They walk in
mhm,
bitterness, but they don't understand that they walk in bitterness. And so therefore, even when you talk with them and try to help them to understand that accountability piece, they just cannot wrap their brains around it. And I know I'm not the only person that know people like that. It could be your mate, but I wasn't thinking about a mate. But it could be your mate. You know, they carry so much baggage, that they the victim, and it has just sunk into their DNA. So every time they walk in a room, the whole atmosphere changes. And so when you talked about accountability and and then there may be a little, a little scuffle, not scuffle as in fighting, but you know how we
right.
use the words and stuff.
Mhm,
The words get to flowing, but we all still play a role in it because it's my fault, it's their fault. But how, and we're gonna have to, I don't know how we're gonna get through all this, but to get people to understand that there's that understanding that
mhm,
they don't want to grab a hold of,
mhm,
which really could free them if
mhm,
they could get a hold of that understanding. It could free them from
mhm.
all of the bitterness that they walking around with, making them look like they're 100 years old and they might only be 50.
Right.
If I know you understand that so well. How did you? What made you understand? Was there a particular incident that made you understand that you had to take accountability for everything that happened for you? Not to you, but for you. What made you adopt that mantra, that reality that that's how you flourish when you can actually do that?
Well, I think if I say it's if I believe who I say I am, then it is who I am, right?
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
for me not to take accountability, I take my power away.
Mm,
Literally, literally. So that's where that's the zone I live in. I live in the
mm,
zone of if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen because of me.
mhm.
Good or bad. Good or bad. I'm not running away from my power.
Mm,
I know I have the power to control me, my thoughts, my energy, my work ethic, my discipline. Everything outside of that, I can't even waste energy worried about it. And just to piggyback on what you mentioned was for your example was if you're in a relationship with a person who can't find a way out of their negative space, then it's your fault that you're still there.
Come on here. I can say
Period.
black man to you because you know who says, "Come on, preach, black man, preach." Come
No,
on here, black man.
yeah, no, seriously. If that's
Yeah.
again, find your accountability. That person keeps coming because anybody who knows me well, who's around me a lot, they know they can't come at me with no victim mentality.
I want
because
to hear that.
you come if you come to me, you're coming for some strategy, some answers, trying to figure out a move. Because you and you battling. You
Mm-hmm.
you ain't just giving up. Oh my God, oh with me, and you're not taking your accountability for why you here in this position in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I got partners who've gone through divorce, and I told them, I'm like, look, man, what's your accountability in this? Like, find your accountability in this divorce, and you're gonna find your peace.
Yes.
And you also might save your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't said and done, if you find your accountability and you can own that shit, you might be able to save it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason why y'all in divorce right now, because neither one of y'all want to take accountability.
Yep.
Everybody's blaming. Everybody's blaming.
Mm-hmm.
There is no blaming. That is, what did you do?
What did you do?
Right? What did you do?
What
Not
did you do?
not him, not her, not she, not me. What did you do?
I do.
And you find what you did, and you be honest. I tell my kids, man, you gonna lie to me someday. You gonna tell me a lie. You gonna tell me a lie. I already know. You probably already lied to me at this point. You probably did. I'm not. Hey,
Yep.
if you did, you good. You might lie to a teacher. You might lie to your girlfriend, your boyfriend. But the
Mm-hmm.
moment you lie to yourself is the moment your life starts to go left.
Hmm.
And I've done a lot of things in my life. I've lied to some people in my life, but I never lied to myself. And now I'm at a point in my life, I'm not even lying to nobody. I'm like, look, man, I ain't lying to nobody. Shit, hey, I'm not afraid. Like, it is what it is. You ask me, I tell you.
Karan, you know our time is up, but I want to leave us on when you lie to yourself, your life goes left. No true words have been spoken. When
Is
you
that the bar?
lie to yourself,
Is that the bar tonight?
yeah, yes, yes. Yeah, because when you lie to yourself, I think about people who are stuck in relationships. I'm gonna leave, but they don't ever leave because they lying to themselves. It's
Yeah, they
gonna
lie to
get better,
themselves.
but it ain't got better yet, honey. When you
And
think it's
and
gonna get better?
and I always tell people, if you're in the midst of something going on within a relationship, give it the time. Give your first of all, no, give yourself the time. Because first you gotta find if the relationship is going left, either
Mhm,
that be a friendship,
mhm.
an interpersonal relationship, a job,
Yes.
anything.
Hmm.
Give it time to find your accountability. And once you find your accountability, you understand, overstand, understand that, okay, I'm taking accountability to understand that, okay, now this really is out of my power. This is out of my power. But first, once you take accountability, do your job to correct your mistakes within that entity. So if the job was bad, most times you think the job was bad. How many times you been late? How many times you done not your job? How many times you did it? Your girlfriend saying you keep doing y'all having problems. How many times you ain't called her when you was supposed to
Yep.
call her? How many times you
Yep.
didn't do what you said you was supposed to
Go
do?
do.
Uh, Anytime your friend and you beefing about something, how many times you flaked on them? So then once you
Mhm.
find those, then you make a considerable amount of adjusting and owning your shit, and you take the time to actually make some corrections within yourself,
Mhm.
and nothing and the situation doesn't change anymore, it still doesn't change, then you understand that that's out of your control. Then you can make a different decision. This job ain't for me. This friendship ain't for me. This
Mhm.
relationship ain't for me.
Mhm.
Because you've done the work, you've taken accountability, and then you can leave all those situations with a level of grace and humility that if something ever came up in life, you could always come back.
Yep. Come back.
Could always come back, because those people that you left, or that job you left, or that situation you left, they might they that you leaving might trigger them to do the work they needed to do to keep the whole relationship together in the first place.
Yep.
But you being brave enough to be you and be and hold true to you gave them the freedom to become their self. So then you were being a good friend, you were being a good spouse, you were being a good
Mhm.
employee.
Yep.
That's how it's supposed to work. We have to bring our best selves to the picture by knowing our best selves, so everybody else can free themselves to be their best selves. Until we get to that point, the world gonna stay all confused and fucked up.
Ooh, I'm telling you, Karan, you done brought it tonight. And you done brought it tonight, Karan. Um, I don't want
So
to cut this
so I want to ask one question, because somebody asked a really good question.
off.
I don't know if
Miss.
it's a good question. It's a good question. It said, Karan, what are your thoughts on Elon Musk making political decisions with President Trump? Now, I don't really get into politics and all those things, but I'll answer that question because I do like a good
Okay.
dialogue. Um, and I'm gonna prove how my thinking process. I don't, I don't have any thoughts on it. It's outside of me,
Hmm.
and anything outside of me is a distraction from my purpose. I say, and you shouldn't be concerned about it either. Joy for me, for joyful Nene, Nene or Nene, one of those. Joyful Nene. Don't stop wasting energy on that stuff. Work work on becoming the best joyful Nene you can be. Because your kids, if you got kids, they're gonna benefit. If you got a business, that's gonna benefit. If you got a husband or a boyfriend, girl, whatever you got, I don't even know what joyful Nene is. It could be anybody. But whatever you got, if you focus on joyful Nene and get out of these distractions of this world, which it's a big TV show. I'm an actor. I'm an entertainer, and the best the best TV on TV right now is Trump. He is the best entertainer on the planet. He's not a politician. He's not a person he's not a leader. Well, yeah, politicians are entertainers, but he's not a leader. He's not a innovator. He's not a spiritual. Listen, he's an entertainer with not a lot of talent. So take that with a grain of salt. Take all this media with a grain of salt, Joy. It's all set up to keep you distracted from your purpose, from your happiness, from what you're here to do. It's all fake. So just stay. I don't even watch the news. I don't watch it. It's a waste of time unless I want to laugh. But that's it, Joy. You get back to it, Doc. Get back to your end. Let's finish it
Okay.
up. You got it. I just want to answer
Okay.
that question because it was good. Everybody else is. I think we talked to everybody else. Knowledge is power. Yeah, we talked to everybody. All right, good.
Okay,
I
and
just
I'm
want to
just
make sure we.
waving at everybody. Thank
Yeah.
you, Karan, for helping. I'm just waving at everybody. And I want to say, as I'm continuing to wave at everybody, I'm glad that you saw that question. And you responded the way that my sister and I have. We always have these dialogues.
Hmm.
That's a distraction. All of that stuff is a distraction, and it keeps you from evolving into the best person that you can be. And I'm so glad that you responded that way because that's what I believe too. And we get so caught up on this stuff that we cannot control, that's outside of us, like you said, that we don't spend time on us. And you got to think about what that does to you, because I believe that brainwashing starts from within, but brainwashing can occur from without. But we have to let it
every
in for it
every
to occur.
everything you let into your cipher, if you not guarded, it will get into your subconscious, and once it gets into your subconscious, if you don't have a conscious insurance of it, is what I like to call it, meaning self knowledge is your conscious insurance, because your
Mhm,
subconscious is gonna do what it's gonna do, but your
mhm,
conscious is your security, meaning I'm
mhm.
always aware that I have to filter everything.
Yes. Yes.
I have to filter everything, and I also have to stand strong on who I am, which really it's like when you wash your car, you wax it and then you put the water on it and it beads off.
Mhm.
Once you get to a full foundation of who you are, that's how shit happens to you. Shit beads off of you.
Oh,
Stress beads
yeah.
off of you. Challenges bead off of you. Uh hate beads off of
Mhm.
you. Uh hard times bleed off of you. Everything that can distract you bleeds off of you. Let's get back to pedaling because we started on pedaling. You on a bike, you got a big hill. But it bleeds off of you. You just get up the hill. It's all life. It's all life, and you have to arm yourself with self love, self dedication, and self purpose, and that way you'll be able to serve and do the things we all came here to do.
Well, Karan, thank you so much for sharing your philosophy of keep pedaling with us tonight. I want to thank everyone for being with us.
And they can get
Karan,
that
what?
book. You can
Thank
get
you.
that book anywhere books are sold. But first and foremost, I'm on the Nipsey hustle because my boy Nipsey, rest his soul, he was a great leader. You can go to my website, KaronJosephRiley.com. That's KaronJosephRiley.com, www, of course. You can order it directly from me. If you do it directly from me, I'll sign it. send you a note, give you some energy. I got a personal card. I give you keep peddling card. One day, I'm pretty sure it'll be a collector's item because I plan on keeping on doing amazing things in this planet, and you get it directly from me. But if you don't want all that, you can just go to Barnes and Noble. You can go to any of those other places and get a middleman his money, and I'll get a little bit. But at the end of the day, if you're really about the culture, go to KaronJosephRiley.com, and I'll have to go to the mailbox and send it directly to you myself, which I love to do personally. And I thank anybody who does it, and I hope that I am in service of you and it actually helps you find your path and find your journey. And you can take some things from that book, and some things may resonate, some things may not. Isaiah
Mhm.
Thomas talked to us one time when I was a little kid, around 8, 9 years old at a basketball camp. He said, there's going to be a lot of people telling you things in your life, and everything they tell you may not be for you. But I want you all to promise me today that you'll always, first and foremost, just listen. Just listen. And if it ain't for you, let it go in out that ear and come out the other. And if it is for you, make it work for you. And I'll leave
Mm.
you with that. Always listening. So hopefully you guys are listening and find something in here for you. And keep pedaling always.
Guys, thank you so much for being with Karan and me on this edition of Talk with Taz Live. You can get Keep Peddling at KaronJosephRiley.com. He's going to autograph it, put it in the mail to you. I will include that in the captions when I post the live. Karan, thank you again for being with me tonight. It has been a wonderful, wonderful discussion. I hope that we'll be able to do this again sometime.
Well, we got something cooking for him, don't we? So we gonna see. So
We
we
got
just
something
gonna
cooking.
we got something cooking. So let's see what it
All right
do.
now.
Good
And
seeing you, my
guys,
sister.
thank you so much. And guys, thank you for joining us. And until next time, before you take care of someone else, make sure you take care of
Take care
yourself
of
first.
yourself.
Bye now.
Ashe.